Let's bring in Evercore's head of internet research, Mark Mahaney. Mark, short-term moves when these potential legal and regulatory issues bubble up, but is this time any different? Should we bet on there being a big TikTok-related change?
Well, John, I'm sorry, it is different this time. And that's, I've had the fortune or the misery of watching a good number of these hearings. These are very important issues that have come up, but there's a new angle today, which is national security. I mean, this is not social health. If social health was part of it, but the much bigger issue, and it was clearly bipartisan in what I watched today and what I read today, was the concerns over national security and who would own the data, particularly with the Communist Party in China own this data. You never had that with Facebook. You never had that with Twitter. So yeah, it is different this time. The risk is much greater, and that's why the sentiment I thought was much more negative and bipartisanly negative, if you can use that as an adjective.
Now, when you say risk, Mark, is it the type of risk that causes advertisers to flee TikTok, or at least hedge their bets into other platforms, and so they get the benefit that way? Or do you really think that there's more than a 50-50 chance that TikTok gets entirely shut down in the United States?
I've yet to hear, John, advertisers, and we've done a bunch of checks recently, I've yet to hear advertisers pull dollars away from TikTok out of a concern over national security or reputational risk. I haven't heard that. I think there's a distinct possibility that that will happen in the next 6 months, but I haven't seen any evidence of that. I don't think it's greater than a 50% chance, but if you and I had talked 6 months ago, we would have said the chance of TikTok getting banned was low single digits. That's not the case now. I don't know exactly what the odds are, but it's 30%, 40%, and I realize there's a lot of constitutional First Amendment issues here. But, you run into a buzzsaw now of Chinese U.S. political turmoil, and TikTok's right at the center of it. And there's nobody in the U.S., nobody in Congress that I can see willing to step up and defend it. And most are being either cautious, thoughtful, or very critical of it.
Okay. You go back to 2016 with national security, and it was Apple and encryption. But that didn't happen either. How different is it really because it's China?
Well, I don't know, John. You're taking me out of in the areas I'm not so good on. But I think the average put out your political antenna. I think the state of U.S.-Chinese relations is worse than it's been in a couple of decades. This is akin to a Russian. It's akin to a Russian company now attempting to own a social media asset in the U.S. That's how volatile the issue is politically and socially in the U.S. That's what makes it so hard for TikTok. And I give TikTok a lot of credit for amazing innovation. That's what I focus on as a technology analyst. Amazing innovation. Now, what's also unfortunate for them is that it's been nicely copied by a bunch of different companies: YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat. So they don't have that kind of monopoly on innovation that maybe they had 2 or 3 years ago. That's another issue for TikTok.